Okay, we're going to start off with looking at a drawing. We draw everything before we build it. Saves on materials, saves on confusion sometimes. This is the rebar layout for the floor and the vertical bend ups that go up into the walls. Every bar across the floor is bent up, straight up, and that'll become part of the wall rebars. This is for our solar panel array. This is the floor. It's like a 6-inch thick floor. And it'll have 21 2-foot by 2-foot square depressions in it with columns stood in it. And the walls, it's a 4-foot wall across the front standing on it. And then it goes up 13.5 degrees. And then the back wall continues on up to 11.5 feet. And in the back here, this is going to be poured with the floor. This is the electrical room where the batteries and inverters and probably the combiner boxes in our case. We're going to get it all out of the weather. And it's also going to be feed storage for the shrimp tank. Anyway, on this thing, you can barely see. There's bars running left to right here that are red. You can see them more down here. And there are bars running from this outside, the whole length of this wall, that are black. So that's the crossbars. And then we have blue bars coming from this side down. And then we have some green bars over here at the top that are for the electrical room, have both ends up. Now, drawing this out like this lets us to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right on across to find how many of that kind to bend so we can do them all at once. Once you get the tools laid out and you got to be warmed up, you may as well keep her working. So we're going to look and see what some of these bars are. The red bars, for instance. How many of them are there? Okay. There's 68 pieces. They're cut from 68 bars. They're made from a full bar. So she's not got to shear those. All she does is bend them. This over here is in inches. They've got to where they work with inches as well as they work with millimeters. And the numbers are smaller, you know. And so I just did this in inches. But if Boss Lady tells me that they want it in millimeters, we can multiply this entire drawing by 2.54 and all the dimensions change. So there's not be any mistakes because the database is just multiplied by a constant. Anyway, this is telling her that from here to the end of the bend is 51.99, which is 52 inches. But she's going to make 68 of those. The black bars that come up from the bottom here, how many of those do we get? Okay, there's 62 pieces, and this bar gets cut to 192.5, and that piece is used later on, but we don't need to get into that. This drawing also, if we send it to them, well, I think we're just going to read the numbers off because she knows how to do this. And all she needs is know what the numbers are and what color bars. She's going to paint these bars these colors, by the way. This is our notch board we're going to use. And I haven't got dimensions on here. Well, it's easy enough to do. I think it's 7 3/4 on this. Something is in transform scale 2D. This chunk. You can do part of a drawing instead of the whole drawing. Let's change it back. Somehow that thing got changed into the wrong scale. Okay, so this is a 9.75 inch notch board. Good, it's going to use less bars. Okay, now we had, back into the gizmo, we had some bars hanging down. And they are blue. So the number that she'd pull off the drawing if we didn't give them to her, be 85 bars required. They're made from a full bar. And the part that sticks up in the wall is going to be about 94 inches. 96 inches is 8 feet. So this is going to stick out of the first pour, and there'll be a little pour on top of that. The green bars is back in the electrical room, go side to side. They don't have as much sticking up, but all it has to do is stick 16 bar diameters past the surface of the concrete, and you got a full lap. And it gives you something to tie them to so that they stay nice and neat. We've been tying these in place, but you could take your notched boards and put your vertical bars in the notches, and then just put the crossbars with the other notch board, and it'd be just absolutely neat. But I don't force them to do that. If they do it if they want. If they don't, it's all right. Anyway, this is made from a full bar. You're going to make 12 of those. You see where this is going, right? We know how many and what they're making it into. This is full bar. There's 24 pieces. It's 52 inches to the back of the bend. There's some straight bars. There's 34 pieces this long. Takes 31 bars because there's going to be some pieces left over from something else. We do the same thing for the rebars in like the bathrooms are doing. They have a count on the rebars. And in addition to what we just looked at, this is the column rebars. I think we're probably at the wrong scale to make any sense out of it. We'll go up here and look anyway. Yeah. Well, obviously these bars are fanned out in something like a squared off circle. And where you see this little hole here and 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 here, these 8 bars are pointing straight up, and they have a stirrup wrapped around them. There'll be a dimension drawing here somewhere on the stirrup. This is it's drawn in centimeters here. And then you can see the little vertical bars there. This is similar to what the stirrup looks like, except the ends will bend right on around. This is a 90-degree bend. We're going to bend them to 135 degrees. And there'll be a stirrup drawing somewhere on here. Question is where. That's not it. Oh, well. It's not that important. The thing is that she's going to bend these bars with 2 bends in them. You know, and there's dimensions for that here someplace. Costs 550 pesos to print one of these drawings over there. So we try not to print them, you know, just randomly all over the place. This is in centimeters, but there's another drawing right beside it that's in inches. Okay, she needs 56 of this, of that, and this. And it turns out that 1 bar will make all 3 of these. So she's got 21 columns, and they have 8 uprights in it. Is that right? Yeah, it's like 160 bars. And once you get all the bars that you're going to be hacking away at, these are just taken off of these counts over here. Here's this 12 bars is those green pieces. And this is how many bars gets consumed. Total bars to buy and the total bars altogether are over here because we have some bars on stock. They were meant for the walls on shrimp tank number 1 for the horizontals, but we're not going to do that until we get this all our floors down while we can dig the dirt, because you can put vertical walls up a whole house in a week. It's 2 pours. Week and a half on the outside. This slip forms is really fast. This down here, this 27 bars and 28, that's for the columns that the solar array is going to sit on. And that's this 28 bars are number 10s for the stirrups. So we've pretty much beat this to death. And I have no idea where that stirrup thing went. See a little bit of blob of it somewhere on here. There's other drawings with this stuff on it too. It's not all in one place. Because the drawings got big and I broke out some of it and just dumped it off onto this piece of paper. Mostly so it would load quicker. Okay. So I'm going to close this. Well, we'll put a dimension on there. We'll save it. Oh, that was a mistake. Now it's going to take forever. It had just closed if I hadn't done that. Excuse to drink a soda, though. They're still digging dirt on this this hole for this solar floor. It's like 32 feet by 56. So that's 10 meters by 20. It's more than that. Huh. It's 30 meters, 20 by 30. Oh, no, I'm doing it wrong. 10 meters by, it's 10 meters by 30 meters. But it's, anyway, 10 by 30, that's 300 square meters. And in the Philippines, that's a good size house. So you can pour this, once you level the ground, you can pour this floor. It'll take them 2 days to tie the rebar. We're going to pour this in thirds, the 2 wings and in the center. I'm watching somebody else's videos here. This is Crazy Molina, or Molina, whatever her name is. They bought a welding machine today. I had one of those about 4 years till it disappeared. Somebody was leaving it out all the time. After about a month of leaving it out, they decided we didn't need it anymore. I don't think this is a very big drawing. It ought to load pretty quick. Or not. While we're waiting, Let's back up to where you haven't seen.